What's up guys, welcome back to Deck Tech for Decks. I'm your host Caleb. If you want to support me, you can now follow me on Patreon. Not only is it the best way to help out the channel, additionally you'll get more say in what decks I cover. Special shout out to all of my high contributing patrons. Newsome, you rock. Additionally, you can always use that TCGplayer link in the description down below if you want to help out the channel. Now let's get into today's Deck Tech with Owen and Blue. And honestly, this looks like a very fun Dinosaur tribal deck. Owen's going to put a lot of busted counters on Blue, and then Blue's going to distribute all of those counters amongst all of our dinosaurs. Notably, haste, trample, all of these are very impactful counters and very powerful, but we can even take it a step further because Blue just cares about the counters on her, right? So we can use other effects such as Oblivion Stone to put fate counters on our Blue, and then Blue's going to distribute all of those counters amongst our dinosaurs, and we can turn it into a one-sided board wipe. On top of that, if we have a way to give, I don't know, Blue an indestructible counter, we can make our whole board stay indestructible. There's just a lot of ways to utilize her ability to make it kind of broken and not that fair for our opponents. Just having a massive board of big dinosaurs that can't be interacted with sounds pretty messed up to me, so that's exactly what we're going to do. If that sounds like a deck tech you want to get into, let's get into it. Let's kick it off by talking about the dinosaurs we run, and then we can go ahead and talk about the broken counter tech I found. First off, we're going to talk about the utility dinosaurs with Topiary Stomper and Wayward Swordtooth just to get some additional lands into play. Regal Behemoth is also going to be busted. Not only is it going to double up on our mana, but we're definitely going to be able to capitalize on some of that card draw from the Monarch ability. Earthshaker Dreadmaw, just a solid way to get some extra card advantage while being a massive beater. Nezahal is amazing in this deck. Not only does it protect itself, it draws you a ton of cards and can't be countered. Curious Altasaur is going to be a new staple for those dinosaur tribal decks, just allowing your dinosaurs to draw cards whenever they deal combat damage. Bonehorde Dracosaur is also going to be really busted in the deck. Not only do you get card advantage, you get a way to create more dinosaurs, and you also get ramp because of those treasure tokens. Displaced Dinosaurs just seems really fun to play with. Now all of our low to the ground artifacts enter in a 7/7 dinosaurs, and honestly, I just want to equip this guy with the Reaver Cleaver, make 7 treasure tokens, and then out of nowhere those 7 treasure tokens are just 7 dinosaurs instead. Pair that with a Warstorm Surge or a Terror of the Peaks, and you're just going to start killing people. Ravenous Tyrannosaurus, not only is this guy going to be solid removal, he has the potential to be massive. Thrashing Brontodon, just solid removal. Apex Altasaur is going to be especially busted in the deck. We have several different ways to make our dinosaurs indestructible. So in a scenario where this guy's indestructible, he just wipes the entire board. Cresting Massasaurus, also very useful in this deck because of that emerge ability. He looks super expensive, but you can cast this guy pretty cheaply depending on what you're sacrificing, and then it's just going to blow your opponents out of the water. Atali Primal Conqueror, we could not include this guy. The value he generates is just unmatched, and then on top of that we can flip him and start one-shotting people. The OG Atali is also going to make this list. Not as busted as the green one, but we still love him. Quartzwood Crusher, this guy can easily generate 20 plus power dinosaurs. That is not an exaggeration. Blue can very easily give all of our dinosaurs trample, and these things are not small creatures, so it's very common just to make 25 dinosaurs off this guy. And then again, once we add a Warstorm Surge or a Terror of the Peaks to that, we will definitely start killing our opponents. Wrathful Raptors is going to be amazing. Not only do we have several ways to just kill our opponents using this, using something like a Blasphemous Act, it's also just going to disincentivize our opponents blocking our dinosaurs. Galta is going to make an appearance because it turns out a 12/12 is just pretty good, right? Especially when we're throwing indestructible counters on him. He has haste. There's a lot of reasons we want to run this, and it honestly catches our opponents off guard and can result in us killing someone out of nowhere. Rampaging Brontodon, again a dinosaur that is instantly massive. This thing already has trample, so as soon as Blue gives it haste, we can honestly again just start killing people out of nowhere. Sunfrill Infiltrator is going to be super flexible in the deck. Early game we'll copy those value pieces like our Curious Altasaur effects or our Bonehorde Dracosaur, and then late game we're going to be able to copy our Ravenous Tyrannosaurus or even Quartzwood Crusher effects. Hunting Velociraptors is going to be amazing in this deck. These dinosaurs are expensive, so just being able to cast them for cheaper is going to be a no-brainer. Ghalta is also amazing in this deck. We have a lot of ways to draw a ton of cards using our Rishkar expertise effects, and then once we have a massive hand of massive dinos, throwing this guy onto the battlefield can result in you just winning the game. Remember, blue gives our dinosaurs haste, which is probably going to be one of the most powerful keywords in this deck, and blue can just give it for free using Owen, so that's going to be again busted. So again, casting this guy can just net you the victory. Invasion of Ikoria, not only is this super flexible to get whatever pieces you need at any point in the game, additionally, once you pop that battle, you get a giant dinosaur that'll let you assign your dinosaurs damage as though they weren't blocked. So not unblockable, but essentially unblockable. Someone's going to die off this card for sure. The Skullspore Nexus, first of all, 2 mana to go ahead and double your creature's power is just broken. You'd run that in this deck anyway, right? A 2 mana artifact that says double target creature's power, I think you could run that in this deck. And then you look at the other effect that says, hey, whenever you lose your dinosaur, just make another dinosaur of same power. That's not okay, and it can result in some busted board states. It's going to make your opponents not even going to want to wipe your board. Poetic Ingenuity, another solid way to just throw some dinosaurs on the battlefield while additionally getting some ramp. Dino DNA is especially busted here. Think about it, it's a discount for some of our most impactful creatures. If we exile an Atali under this, or even a Ghalta, we have some broken ETBs that we can activate for just 6 mana. And then hear me out, we can go infinite with this. We are running mana echoes in this deck just because a lot of these creatures are very expensive, so it's going to be a no-brainer to include a card that gives you a ton of mana whenever you're casting dinosaurs. As long as we can net 6 mana off our mana echoes, Dino DNA can just create an infinite amount of dinosaurs. Now, what I think would be kind of cool here is just exiling a Terror of the Peaks under this and generating infinite Terror of the Peaks triggers and killing everybody that way. Yes, it's probably a very busted combo, but we don't have any way in the deck to tutor both of these pieces up, so it's probably going to be fine in your casual groups. Monster Manual, also going to be solid here. Paying 2 mana instead of 7 mana for that Atali is just going to make me happy. Now, let's move on to what you're probably here for, the broken counter tech. The Witch Was Taken is going to be perfect here. We can shove a Divinity counter on blue, and now all of our dinosaurs are indestructible. Tyrite Sanctum, it's kind of slow, but you can kind of catch your opponents off guard because you just throw a land into play and then you activate it on instep. By the time you untap, it's already too late for them to interact if they didn't leave up any removal, and now all of your dinosaurs are indestructible. Oblivion Stone, now we can go ahead and shove all of those fate counters on all our dinosaurs and do a one-sided board wipe thing. Agent's Toolkit's going to be solid. We can get our choice of a Death Touch, Flying, Shield counter. Notably, Death Touch counters are going to be very powerful in this deck because you can easily get off the Death Touch and Trample synergy that lets you assign combat damage basically as though you weren't blocked. You just need to assign 1 damage to a creature to kill it, and then all the rest can be trample damage. Pretty busted. Slippery Bog Bonder, this is going to be a solid way if they remove blue. Not only can we get all of the counters that were on blue back on her just by using one of the dinosaurs that was already on the battlefield and had the counters on them, not to mention it will give all of our dinosaurs hexproof from that point forward. Scavenged Brawler just seems solid here. We get this in our graveyard, exile it, and we can go ahead and get a ton of counters on our commander. A flying counter, vigilance, trample, and lifelink sounds kind of busted to me. Master Chef is deceivingly busted in this deck. All we have to do is cast blue, and then boom, blue has a counter on her, right? Now, that's going to ensure that all of our dinosaurs will enter with a 1/1 counter. That much is self-explanatory. But if we have Owen, blue on the battlefield at the same time, both of them have this ability. So not only will they get 2 counters off of Master Chef since we have 2 commanders, they'll also get a 3rd counter on blue. So it's basically giving all of your dinosaurs 3 counters straight up. That can be pretty busted, especially again when they all have haste, trample, all of those busted keywords. Now is probably a good time to mention we have Ozolith the Shattered Spire in the deck as well. Not only is this a solid way to shove a counter on blue, but it's also going to make that interaction with Master Chef stupid busted. Since all of those are individual triggers, the one from blue, Owen, and then blue again, we will get 6 counters on our dinosaurs instead of just 3. that's going to end the game pretty quickly. Shaman of the Great Hunt, this is going to be a good include here. A lot of our creatures have trample, they can easily get in for damage, and then we have that broken ability to draw a ton of cards for 4 mana that can be activated more than once in a turn, which is kind of busted, especially when we can throw that Galta on the battlefield and throw all of our creatures on the battlefield, right? Uncivil Unrest, I don't think I have to tell you how messed up this card is in a Dino deck. Although 6/6s are just going to do 12 damage now, not okay. Defiler of Vigor, not only is it going to give us a little bit of a discount on our dinosaurs, it's also going to just slowly start buffing our board state up. The Great Hinge, 2 mana, draws cards, ramps you, throws counters on our creatures, does everything we want to do. Animar, Soul of Elements, notably not a dinosaur, but definitely worth it in this deck. It's just one of those cards that's too good not to include, especially when we have those massive dinosaurs we're trying to cast. Minx and Boo, the more I play this card, the more I think it should just be ran in any Gruul deck. Oh my gosh, it's busted. The first time it comes down, you get a 4/4 hamster, then the very next turn, you can deal 4 damage to something and draw 4 cards. If you don't need to do that, you can just keep buffing up the hamster and start making it massive, then draw an entire new hand. This card is just busted. The more I play with it, the more it solidifies that it should go in almost every Gruul deck for me. Kodama of the West Tree, now we don't have to worry about those pesky trample counters. We can just focus on the menace and haste and other things, and just enjoy the fact that all of our creatures will have trample and start ramping us to an oblivion. Tyrant Guard's going to be a solid way to just be a heroic intervention on a stick. It's really good at that. The Ozolith is also going to make an appearance here. Not only do we have a lot of ways to generate 1/1 counters in the deck, it's just going to be solid for if we lose blue to be able to put all of those counters back on her. If we lose our Tyrite Sanctum, there's not a lot of other ways in the deck to get indestructible on blue, so we definitely want to protect that. Moving on to the card advantage, we have Orin Frostfang. Pick this guy up now. His budget was $20 and he's busted. Not to mention we easily get that trample death touch synergy off with ease while drawing cards. Return of the Wild Speaker and Rishkar's Expertise, a solid way to draw a ton of cards in this deck. Kindred Discovery is honestly amazing in this deck. We're casting a lot of dinosaurs, we're creating a lot of dinosaur tokens, and again, if it wasn't clear, we're smashing face with a lot of dinosaurs, so we can enjoy a ton of card advantage off this. Moving on to ramp, we're running the Reaver Cleaver. This is Red's version of Smothering Tithe. If they don't remove it immediately, you're just going to run away with the game and win. Farseek, 3 visits, Nature's Lore, just solid early game ramp. Cultivate, Kodama's Reach, I like it especially in this deck because we're going to need our lands consistently to cast those massive dinosaurs. Soul Ring's going to make an appearance, obviously, and that's going to be the ramp package. Moving on to removal, we have Warstorm Surge and Terror of the Peaks. We're making some massive dinosaurs, so these cards can just result in us not only taking control of the game, but winning the game. Nature's Claim and Beast Within is our single target removal of choice. Then we have a Blasphemous Act. Notably with Wrathful Raptors, this can just win you the game outright. In closing, Blue and Owen are just super surprising, guys. Turns out Temur Dinos is where it's at. Instead of white, we get blue. Blue's just busted, right? We get additional card draw, we get Kindred Discovery, and we get one-sided board wipes. It's honestly very explosive, and if you want a dinosaur deck, I didn't think this would be the route to go, but it's honestly extremely consistent at not only doing the thing, but generating a pretty resilient board state. With that being said, don't forget to subscribe, guys, and hit that bell notification. I'm going to be tackling this Ixalan set hard. So if you want to see more Ixalan commanders, definitely don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell notification, because sometimes it's 50-50 if you'll see my video. With that being said, I would like to thank my Patreons, especially my high contributing ones, Newsome, Chicken Salad, you guys are amazing, as well as all my other patrons. You guys are amazing, couldn't do it without you. I appreciate every one of you. As always, I hope this helped you in your deck building endeavors, and I will see you in the next one.